In rodeo, or even in the ranching industries, or when you're starting a business of your own, you can understand the importance of needing to be all in for different reasons. Being all in rodeo, it can be a matter of life and death. Being all in starting a ranch is the difference between success and failure. I'm Scott Hilgendorff with Cowboys of the Cross, and this is The Short Go. James chapter 1, verses 5 through 8. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. It's important to understand this isn't saying that God isn't going to be present in our lives just because we've messed something up or we don't get something right. But what we need to understand in what James is saying here is that in the specific example of asking for wisdom, but this would go with anything that we would approach God for, is that we need to be firm in our belief, solid in who we are as Christians. And when we ask knowing and trusting that all of our hope is in Jesus, not in things of the world. That's what it means to be double-minded. If we're going to succeed in rodeo, if we're going to succeed in ranching, in a worldly sense of how these things just work, you have to be committed to them. You have to be 100% in, especially when we look at the rodeo side of it. These examples on the roughy side is, life or death. If you are not all in and you're half-heartedly competing, you are setting yourself up to be in a much more dangerous place than you already are in choosing to compete in that sport. Any cowboy will tell somebody that's starting out that if they're not 100% into this, then they need to not do it at all. Just like we can be thrown to the ground and hurt badly in a rough stock event, James is telling us that those of us that aren't committed, that we aren't all into our faith, we're going to be like a wave in the ocean just tossed around. We're not going to be successful at our faith. We're not going to grow as Christians. We're going to struggle. And we're just going to be thrown back and forth by following some things from the world and then following some things from the Bible and just going back and forth, but never actually being fully committed to our faith. So never actually growing to the full potential that Jesus has for us as Christians. We have to be all in with our saving faith in Jesus Christ, and then we have to be all in the rest of the way as he does his work in us. CowboysoftheCross.com, every other Thursday, new content there to help you grow in your faith, to help you be more all in.